What's up, everybody? You are tuned into the Buzz Club, and this segment is called the Beehive, and I'm sitting here with some really cool people. Would you introduce yourselves for me, please?
I'm David Taz Anderson, author, motivational speaker.
My name is Margot Burley, a senior at the Art Institute of Philadelphia.
I'm Dave Martin. I'm a sophomore at Temple University.
Should you marry someone and you don't have a job, or one person doesn't have a job, like, or do you think both people should be like financially independent? Because I believe financial independence is very, very important.
Yeah, definitely. You
Never
cannot
to depend on
depend.
somebody.
You can't depend on a
Never.
male or a female
No.
for money. I feel like you as an individual, you should make your own money, because something could happen today or tomorrow when you guys break up, and then if you know, if I'm with a guy and I'm broke, what am I going to do?
Where am I going to go?
Where
How
am I
many
gonna
people
go?
stay in bad, toxic relationships because they have no finances to move away? You know, they've moved somewhere with this guy, and it's like, now it's like, oh, I'm stuck. And then one day, you know, what if you don't have no money? And he's like, well, you know, you can't get it from me, or, you know, you need money and I don't. I have my, like, I don't like people throwing stuff in my face like that. And it's just bigger than all of that. It's just like, you want to feel like an adult. You want to feel like you can take care of yourself, you know, no matter what. And also, if your mate, think about this way, your mate gets in trouble, they need you to help them. Financially, you know, you need to maybe bail him out of jail. Who knows what happened? He might have had a DUI and he was in jail. You never know. Like, seriously, like, you definitely need to be financially independent in this day and age.
That's a big part, I think, to dealing with people. And honestly, for myself, that's something that I look into when I deal with a person. I'm not going to just talk to you because of how you look, or it's not about what you have, but at the same time, I'm not going to mess with somebody who doesn't have nothing going for themselves, you know? Like, I'm not going to mess with a guy who doesn't have any money. Like, that's just me. Like, I'm just not.
I'm not
like,
going to mess with you if you don't have any ambition.
If you don't have any ambition,
if you're not hardworking,
goals, if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, anything, if you know.
I need to know that you're able, I need to know as a woman that you are able to take care of yourself as a man, and then one day you may be able to take care of a family.
Right.
So you need to show me first that you're fine to take care of yourself. If you're like, if I'm dating you and you can't even pay for groceries, excuse me?
Right.
Like, it's not about having tons of thousands of money. We're all young. We're kind of like all broke on the same level. But it's like, you have a job, you have some type of source of income, you're doing something with yourself.
But are you saying you want money? You want not money. You want like prospects for money, or you want ambition?
Right, because there's two different things.
What if I want to be an artist?
Right.
If
you work on your art, then let me see you working on your art. Let me see you out here on the streets trying to sell this art.
But that's
you know what I mean?
That's not money.
That's
not. But you're still doing something. And
you know what? But that contradicts what you said, because I know
desire.
plenty of artists who don't have any money who are struggling. I know a guy who sat and slept in the subway for a year and a half, you know, and wound up working in the A&R department and put artists in the daggone projects. Would you mess with a guy who had no money, who was sleeping in the subway?
I would, because I didn't say I would. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I've been that starving artist. I've not had a job and made jewelry like I have on to survive, and I've been like an assistant and things like that. Like, I know what it's like to not have a 9 to 5 and not get paid, and you know, I'm trying to make my dream come true. I'm doing it now. I work part-time to do this, you know what I mean? So I definitely would. You have to be ambitious, but actively seeking your dreams and fighting for it. You can't say I'm an artist, but every day you're home just smoking, staring at the walls, saying, I have no creativity. It hasn't come this month.
No, that's a
year.
moron.
You know?
Like,
I don't have time for that.
It's just not an artist.
Like, I'm not going to, no, I won't feed that at all. But at the same time, how do you eat? You know, make sure you're out here, like, you may not have that 9 to 5, but you're eating in some way, you know, like, you're not asking me for money, because I am not taking care of a grown man. No. Okay?
You know what? There are a lot
Just so the world.
There are a lot of women out here who are conditioned by their mothers and by society and by fairy tales that a man should take care of them. That's why you got to know how to walk in heels. You know how to do this. I mean, this is a generation of women who, a lot of them don't cook. A lot of them don't have the domesticated type of vibe, but you want a guy to be,
expect him to,
you know, to be Superman and have this
traditional role,
and
but you're not trying to take up a traditional role.
And I mean,
that's crazy.
Just to be honest with the situation, you cannot sit up here and be verbally abusive to a guy. You cannot sit up here and pop your head, put a nice little yaki weave in your head, and think that's all it's going to take. You are not going to be on the next Basketball Wives, and you're not going to be sitting up here being evil and think that at the end of the day you're going to wind up with The Rock. That's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
The reality of the situation is, if you come up broken, you know, you're going to wind up broke.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You know what? It's off the hook in here. It's getting live in here. If y'all didn't know, but it's real.
Can we get posters with these quotes?
Okay, can we get the posters?
I want to wake
You
up
can
every
just
day
follow
with a
me on
picture.
Twitter. It's right here, right
It's
now.
right. Okay, all right. You guys
I do this all day.
So would you date anybody? Oh, I just picked up the recent Sister to Sister magazine in April,
right.
and Ice-T and Coco had an article. And Ice-T said that the problem with a lot of black women, why they're single, is because they won't open themselves up to other races, but black men are loved by women of all around the world, and they're open to other women, you know, and they're kind of getting tired of being treated badly, or, you know, just because, you know, a lot of black women do expect these high standards, this long list. But he said if more black women are open to other races, they could find happiness.
They could.
Like him and Coco.
But the other
would
thing,
you guys?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. My lady is black, and I love her dearly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have dated other races, but my main thing is this: when you realize that you have a value, and your value is not your job. No one wants to hear, I'm an independent woman, I drive a Beamer, I'm successful, I'm this, I'm that. No, what you are is a braggart, and nobody, I don't care if you're black, white, or polka dotted, wants to deal with that. I don't care about your credentials. Are you a good person? Can I bring you home to my mother? Will you love me? Will you be there to support me? And if you're not going to do those things, you are going to be alone. And why are you listening to a bunch of bitter women who don't have any man either?
Anyway.
For advice.
So color doesn't really matter. It's about the in person, right? Like, because I think I'm pretty open to it. You know, I've never dated outside of my race. I've always been like, oh, I'm all for the black man. But sometimes, you know, like, you get let down sometimes by the black man. And then you're like, well, maybe I'm limiting myself. You know, maybe I should open up and date, you know, a Vietnamese person or an Italian, or, you know, because different men find a black woman beautiful as well, you know, from all over the country, you know. So I definitely think I'm very open to that. Okay, this is the big debate before we go. Big debate. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's doing it. It seems like. Should marijuana be legalized?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
I was watching this show on I forget what channel network it was on, but they have like hospitals that sell like mad marijuana trees. Or whatever.
It's in California,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I don't understand. Like honestly, I feel like marijuana is better than cigarettes. Cigarettes is legal, and cigarettes is what's causing cancer and death to people, compared to weed. I feel like there's nothing wrong with the weed. The only thing that it does is get your mind high. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, if you lace it with something else, then that's a different story. Right. But weed as a whole, marijuana as a whole, I think that it definitely should be legalized.
So you going to the Art Institute? I'm sure you've had experiences. You know, people, you know, like are smoking. And do you find that your classmates, they feel like their creativity has enhanced through marijuana smoking?
Definitely. I feel like it brings out your creative vibes, brings out things that you didn't know that.
Like insight and wisdom.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely, college is definitely the place. If you want to start smoking weed, most kids smoke weed in college. You know, like
The thing is that it's not even like weed, like everybody says it's so terrible. I'll tell you right now, I smoke tree.
Yeah, keep it real.
3 times a week. I'll tell you right now, I'm a 3.9 finance major at Temple University.
Okay.
And I will smoke. I don't care. It's like, but you know what? At one point you gotta say, it's not all long-haired surfers doing stuff. Listen, I live a high-stress life. I do a lot of stuff. I work 30 hours a week and go to school and do my homework. And I'm trying to get into law school. And you know what? If I want to roll a blunt when I get home, you can stay out of my house.
How many lawyers are smoking?
Really care.
How many doctors are smoking?
How many millions and billions of dollars is the United States spending trying to avoid a thing? I can get marijuana easier than I could get cigarettes.
Crazy.
You know why? Because marijuana delivers.
All day?
All day.
You know, but you got to really understand that everything, this whole war on drugs, it's horse. It's just like in the 20s when they were talking about prohibition and you had bootleggers by the name of the Kennedys sitting up here wrecking shop and paying off the government on the side. It is what it is. If you're an adult, you're going to make whatever adult decisions you're going to make. Whatever mistakes you choose to make, you can make them. And personally, legalize it. But if you legalize it, you miss all that good back-end money, so the government's not going to do it until they can't get any more dirt money off of it. But, you know, you have to decide what it is that you want to do. I've smoked weed. I don't have an issue with people who smoke weed. I'm not saying you need to go out and do it. Kids don't do drugs. But at the end of the day, listen.
This show is not for kids, by the way. This is definitely a 20, 30-something show.
If I'm not operating any heavy machinery, if I'm not doing anything that involves saving lives,
same thing as
by all means, go ahead. I mean, how many bottles have killed innocent children? How many natural, quote unquote, legal drugs? Have you ever listened to these commercials? Side effects include thoughts of suicide, thinking about killing your mother, having a headache, loose bladders, death. but you have a sinus infection. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these prescription drugs
will
are
kill
more
you
dangerous.
more dangerous than marijuana itself. And also, it depends how you smoke it. Because if you smoke it in a pipe, it's more natural. You're not rolling any tobacco. I mean, these are things I know from experience, from being with my friends. And the reality is, like, I'm always torn because it's like there are times that you do need to not smoke, you know. Let's just put that out there, you know. Yes. But I do believe it was put here for a reason. Yeah. And whether it's to calm your nerves, whether it's to cure your glaucoma, whether it's to, you know, keep you chill in times of high stress, or some people, their mom died today. I'm gonna go roll a J, and I'm gonna calm my nerves.
Well,
Seriously.
the funny thing is, like, I smoke, honestly, I smoke to sleep half the time. If you have a midterm tomorrow and it's 12 and you're wired and you can't do, you smoke and you will sleep like a child. But
like
the thing
a baby.
Is, what are you gonna take, like Lunesta or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you could get addicted to it. Oh, I hope I've got 10 hours to sleep, because once I take this, you're done. Yeah. Like you take nighttime cold medicine. Yeah. You're out.
Well, you take feel 2 puffs of the good.
You take
sleep.
You take NyQuil and you will get a NyQuil hangover the next day. You'll feel crabby. I'll tell you right now. But it's like, you know, like you said, like it's until people just stop saying like, oh, it's a gateway drug. It's not a gateway drug. It's a gateway dealer who goes, oh, you want weed? Well, I got some ecstasy too.
And you know what?
That's a great.
You don't go to 7-Eleven and they go, hey, let me get some cigarettes, and he goes, I got chewing tobacco too. You want some of that?
Yeah,
like,
right.
No, I don't want to. Like,
I don't want that. You know.
I came here to buy soda. Like, chill.
What were you saying?
No, I mean it's just one of those things where you have to make your own decision. Stop acting like it's everybody else's fault. It's not your deadbeat daddy's fault. It's not your baby mama's fault. It is you. And if you choose to smoke weed and you are adults enough to handle that, if you choose to drink a beer and get behind the wheel of a car, do what you do, but you have to be responsible for your actions. So legalize it. I have a mother. My father's dead. I don't need the government parenting me. If I want to roll a blunt, I am. I prefer bowls when I did indulge. But
all right, guys, we are about to head out. Any closing remarks before we leave the Beehive?
Oh, we're all gonna look at me.
Well, I mean, you have a lot to say, Dad.
Yeah,
don't be a fool. Stay in school. What else we got? That was some fresh out of Sesame Street. There it is.
Work hard, stay positive, love yourself, empower one another, help one another, and be of a service to others.
That's what it is. Greatness is not achieved by throwing your dreams in the microwave. You have to go out and get it. You have to work for it. So wake up, bake up, cake up.
I'm feeling my guests, okay? I don't know about you guys, but they definitely put me on. All right, so stay tuned on the next episode of Buzz Club.
Hi, I'm Masi. And I'm Steve. And you're tuned in to the Buzz Club.
When the weather's this nice, it seems as if the entire city flocks to Rittenhouse Square Park. It's where you'll find the young, as well as the young at heart. The park is also the destination where performers of all types showcase their talent.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, he got ups. It's all about cultural diversity.
Come along, meet a couple of artists, and find out how they create magic. What's up, Buzz Club? I'm your host, Bensu, and I'm standing here with owner Nehemiah of the brand
NeoDaviso.
Tell us a little bit about what NeoDaviso really is.
NeoDaviso was created a year ago. It's a brand for the dreamer, believer, and achiever. Anybody going somewhere in life, they should definitely wear NeoDaviso. It was created for a mindset of a young billionaire. If you believe you can achieve something in life, you should go get it. You should wear our brand.
Okay, so this is one of your shirts. Can you tell us what it says?
Success come in cans, not can't. So basically mean if you want something in life, you can get it. You go by the law of attraction. If you believe you can have it, you could get it. So whether that's your brand, getting money, whatever, if you want it, you could get it.
So when did you think of this brainchild?
It's like year, like 5 years ago, but we really started working on it like a year ago.
Why is it important that you promote success and following your dreams?
Because so many people negative, we want to bring the positive aspect of life out. Just sell our clothes by promoting. Hopefully people live by the messages that we're selling to the world.
And I see that you had a lot of your family out here helping you today.
Right.
Would you say your family is one of your biggest supporters?
Yeah, they definitely a big supporter. We got a nonprofit, NeoDaviso Foundation. They basically run that. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't do that.
Wow.
A lot of things.
So what is your foundation center around?
We feed the homeless every Monday. We feed youth. We feed the homeless every Monday. We feed youth, and we're all about giving back and making a difference.
Okay, so what's one advice that you want to give to other young people who may want to start their own businesses in their brand?
Follow your dreams and don't stop till you get what you want in life. Thank you for
If you would like to know more about the NeoDaviso clothing line, check out the website at neodaviso.com. Hi! What's up, Buzz Club? We are still here in Rittenhouse Square, but guess what? I had a friend come down and she brought some of her lovely paintings. And her name is Sabiha. Sabiha, say hello to the camera.
Hi, everyone.
Sabiha, what do you have here for us today? It's like a treasure chest full of goods.
Yes, I have 3 different paintings. This one is like a flowers montage. It has the stippling effect in the background, and I did this with acrylic paint. It's one of the first paintings I ever did, so exciting. This one is probably the favorite. It's called Falling Trees. It's really a play upon fall. I like to show different textures, leaves, and shapes about fall. And I did the background sunset background.
This one?
And this one is wildflowers. I think
this is my favorite.
Yeah, it's flowers, and then I did the background with all in pen and Sharpie pen. And
Sharpie pen.
Sharpie pen.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just tropical and it's fun. It's fierce.
So Sabiha, typically, how do you start any one of your creations?
I usually start off just by sitting down and sketching, like a blank canvas, and I just draw different shapes and let my imagination take over. That's usually how I start.
And how long does typically one of these paintings might take?
I do it gradually, so I sketch and then I outline, and then I paint or Sharpie, whatever. So around about 2 weeks. This size probably around 2 weeks because I do it gradually.
I don't know, like, I thought I was the only one addicted to Sharpies because I love like how vibrant their colors are.
Yes.
When did you discover that you actually wanted to create art with Sharpie markers and not like your typical paint?
Same with you. I love the colors. I think they stand out. I think they're so bold, and you can't really get the texture and the colors you get with Sharpie than you can do with regular marker. So I just really love the colors.
So, I see you brought your sketchbook down here today.
Yes, I did.
Would you like to give us a little demonstration on how you kind of create this?
Sure.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I've never seen anything like this before.
So I start off just roughly, if I was to do something like the flowers, I start off roughly sketching, like so.
How long have you been creating art?
I've started taking art seriously actually recently, like last year.
Oh.
Yeah, and it started off doodling in class. I was really bored in my classes.
I'm a doodler too. That's a sign of boredom. If Vince's doodling, she's bored.
To me, I don't think shapes should be associated with math and something boring and something like people like run away from. I think shapes are cool. And I think shapes are so interchangeable. You can put them in different things and just make it look cool and free.
And Sabiha, where are you originally from?
I'm from Bangladesh, which is right next to India, and that's where my family's from. I immigrated here when I was 4, and I've been living here since I was 4.
So what does your family think about your artwork?
They actually really support me. They're both engineers, so they really don't know where I get it from. They sometimes question like where I get this talent from, but they're actually really supportive of it because, you know, they understand that I love doing it, and they understand it's my passion, so they support me.
And it's funny how you recently discovered this passion. Some people think that you're like born knowing what you want to do all the time, and that's not necessarily the case, you know?
That's not necessary. I went to school for day after day after day, and I just remember being so bored. And I was like, let me just doodle. And then my friend looks at me and goes, Sabiha, that's really cool. And really, that's where it stemmed from. So I just discovered this like last year. So I think no matter what age, you can have a passion.
Yeah, so one shouldn't be afraid to follow their passion at any age, you know, like one day you could totally wake up and realize, wait a minute, I've been a lawyer for 60 years. I hate it.
Yeah.
I want to be a skateboarder. Okay, you can't skateboard once you're like, can you be like a 70-year-old skateboard person?
Maybe not.
But I mean, something else, you know, something more practical.
I know.
But if you knew that you could live solely off these paintings and these sketches and these Sharpie images, you would just quit everything and just do that full time?
I definitely would, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See? Something I love to do.
Art is in the heart.
Art is in the heart. Sure.
Don't take that slogan. That's mine. That's my slogan. Art is in the heart, okay?
Yeah.
Art is in the heart.
You're going to copyright that.
I'm copyrighting it right now. Buzz Club. You heard it first. Honeybee said it. What do you think about today's youth?
I think today's youth, with social media and stuff, it can really... You have to be careful with that stuff. When I was growing up, that stuff didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Did not exist. Like, we had...
Now you have kids with Facebook pages like 12 years old. And
my brother got a cell phone at, I think, 11 or 12, and I didn't get one until I was in high school. So it's a big difference. There was no texting. There's none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful. I think my art also, like, I love to take two things that don't go together and put them together.
I mean,
because I really believe in equality. Because when I was little and I first moved to America, I was teased, and people would tease me because I wasn't the same skin color as them, or I didn't look like them, or I didn't have hair like them. You know, I was teased about different stuff. So that's why, as an adult, I think the best thing you can do is just teach people to accept people who they are. And even if two things aren't supposed to go together, that doesn't mean that they don't belong together. It doesn't mean it's not beautiful. That's why I like taking shapes and nature, kind of putting them together, because it's like so opposite. So I firmly believe that why can't they go together?
Yeah.
Just because society says they can.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
So this is the sketch before I paint. This is what it will look like.
Okay. You're signing it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, how are you going to finish this painting?
I will most likely use acrylic paint and just paint in the flowers, so none of the black would show. It'll kind of look like what that flower one looks like. And probably do the background in Sharpie. Yes.
That's excellent. I know you can't do everything right now, but I really appreciate you taking your time out, Sabiha, and sitting here and showing us this process and talking with me about everything from your art to life. You know, it's just been amazing being out here in Rittenhouse Circle. Do you have any last words before we leave the Buzz Club?
Accept everyone for who they are.
That's exactly what we learned today. Just accepting everyone for who they are. So, all right. I'm your host, Honeybee. This is Sabiha, and you have been buzzed.
And now, it's time for everyone's favorite girl to speak, Honeybee, because the girl is so sweet.
Welcome back, everybody. Your favorite segment is here, Honey Says, and I'm your host, Honeybee. Once again, we are sitting here in the wonderful Philly Cam offices, and it is amazing that I get to do this and share with you some Honeybee letters. Let's look inside the suitcase and see who's written in today. Today's letter comes from someone who calls themselves Broken Hearted Guy. Now this is a little special because usually men don't like to write in how they feel about their relationships or even admit that their heart is broken. So let's see what he's talking about here. Dear Honeybee, I recently discovered that my girlfriend, who's been living with me for the past year, has also been cheating on me over the past few months. This comes as quite a shock because she presented herself as such an image. To me and everyone else in my life, she was a loving girlfriend that was supportive, took care of most things. I became very attached to her, and as anyone else probably would have. The sad part is, I found out through Facebook, and the guy was cool enough to tell me everything. Not only was she being unfaithful, but she put my life in jeopardy and slept with him several times unprotected. I've gotten tested since then, and thank God I have no STDs, knock on wood, but I'm still badly bruised. I feel disappointed, hurt, humiliated, and used. I keep trying to compare myself to the other guy, and I no longer feel as confident and secure about myself as before. It's driving me crazy, and the worst part about everything is that I still love her. After everything, and she continues to call, I choose to forgive her, but I'm still not over the cheating entirely, and all trust has been broken. I even suspect that she's still in contact with the guy she cheated on me with. My question to you is, how can I find peace and overcome this heartache? Would the right decision be to cut her off entirely from my life and forgive and begin again for true love's sake? Peace, broken-hearted guy. Wow. I think many of you out there can contest that you know how this guy is feeling. I've been there. I've been in a relationship where someone was unfaithful to me. And unfortunately, although it's not your fault, you always feel like it is. You always feel like, well, if I had done this, you know, could have been better, or maybe I was too pushy, or maybe I should have just, you know, been nicer or cooked more or did this or did that. And, you know, even though it's from a male perspective, you know, you do lose confidence, whether male or female, because you feel like, okay, I gave them the best that I had, I thought, considered at the time, and they still cheated on me. So is this person better than me, or was it me? Did I do something wrong? But what I want to let you all know is, it's not your fault if someone that you gave your best to cheated on you. That's their issue. The best way that I've dealt with it is honestly from a spiritual ground base, like praying, meditating, you know, doing more things for myself, getting into myself, because obviously, you know, so much of you, the focus was off of you and onto that other person. So you feel like when they're not with you that, you know, you crumble, you weaken by not having them around you. And you have so much strength within you. Everyone has strength inside of them. And that's the strength that comes from the light that comes from God, you know, and that's just what I believe, you know, whatever it is, whoever it is that you believe in, you know, just know that you do have light within you. No one can steal your light. You know, they can make you a little sad, they can hurt you, they can do things to hurt you, but no one can take that light from you. And if you focus more on that inner light what's inside of you and focus on the good things and the positive things, hanging out with your friends, keeping you occupied so you're not thinking about them, finding hobbies, like those are wonderful things that'll get you past a breakup. Now, in terms of forgiving someone who's been cheating on you, we're human, right? That's fair to say. Everyone makes mistakes, you know. One day it could be you cheating, one day it could be me. I'm in no position to judge. Forgiveness, I believe you should forgive in all situations anyway. So regardless if you're going to be with that person again or not, just forgive them, because that's the only way you'll find peace. Forgive them to know, like, you know what, they are human, and if they don't recognize it now, one day they will, that they didn't, you know, do something very wrong. Even if you guys don't get back together, they'll apologize or whatever. Even if they don't ever apologize, just forgive them. Just know that that's just the basis of humanity. We sin, you know. But if you do want to get back on that track and be in a relationship, you need to move slowly. You need to rebuild. It's like a building whose foundation has been shaken up. You know, the rug pulled from underneath you. What do you know? Is it real or is it not real? You know? So you really need to start at the ground base again and rebuild this building that was great. It's like it's been demolished almost. Cheating demolishes that building. So now you need to be friends again. You need to find a spiritual ground base together. You need to communicate more. You need to find out why that person felt like they had to cheat. These are all different things that if you want to be with them, you have to be willing to work at it, but they mostly have to be willing to work at it with you also. So it can't be you doing all of the work because you want the relationship more than they do. They need to show you like they want you. They really, really, really want you in their life, and it's genuine. So broken-hearted guy, you know, if you want to forgive, absolutely, I say forgive. Now, if you want to continue the relationship, you know, that's up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. Unprotected sex is never okay, you know. You guys need to understand that HIV and AIDS are real out here. STDs like chlamydia, trichomoniasis, a lot of different things are out here, and you're putting people's lives in danger. If you so happen to feel like you cannot be in a relationship, you cannot be faithful, you should be very honest with your partner, because it doesn't just affect you. Don't be selfish, you know? That's all I have to say today. So tell me how you guys feel, and write some of your own letters in at teamhoneybee@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to like our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/thebuzzclub. You have officially been buzzed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.